And hello everyone, welcome to the new episode 3 of our Glenmoangies series. And today we have our angel-haired hipster Curtis, the lovely Leah, and the happy Honduran once again, always making us laugh. I'm your host, Jamie. Let's go ahead and unveil what we have. Voila!
Voila!
Curtis, you go ahead, you brought this in. Why don't you tell us what we have?
We have the port finish, Glenmoangie. This is what I think of when I think of Glenmoangie. This is what I remember as the first bottle of Glenmoangie I had back in the 80s. This is my favorite. May not be yours, but this is the one that I really go to around the time. So I'm going to pop it open, and Leah, you're first. I hope you
Today's
like this.
food, we have the Scottish shortbread. Is that correct saying that?
Yes.
And then
from
we
Ann
also...
Booth in Mount Vernon.
Want to say that again?
From Ann Booth in Mount Vernon.
Okay.
Okay, so it's local.
And then we have just your regular Planters, wasabi and soy sauce almonds.
They're very good.
They're fantastic. We've already
They're
I
started.
love them. We've eaten through half the thing already.
So this is the Glenmoangie 12, but it's not a cherry cask, not cherry finish. This is just like the original, right?
No. This is a port finish.
Port finish.
But what I'm saying is, it is what I remember from the first bottle of Glenmoangie that I had back in the 80s.
Okay, so what makes it a port?
They finished it in a port cask.
Okay.
When the barrels go from Missouri,
Uh-huh.
and I believe they then go to a distillery in Kentucky, and then from Kentucky, if they're going to use those for a port finish, then they go to Portugal, and they use them for a port, and then they go to Glenmoangie, and Glenmoangie then finishes the whiskey. And then I've been told that they are so valuable they sell for about $20,000 a barrel for the next person to use.
So when you say port,
50 barrels.
when you say port in Portugal, you're talking about port wine. They use it for port to make port wine.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And Leah had some port a little bit earlier. Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
From
Yes,
Portugal.
this is very good.
Okay, so to the nose, what should we be smelling? Is there a
I smell
description?
heaven.
Dude, this
Is there a notes on the back? Eddie, you're a resident reader. Will you please read what the back says?
Okay. The Quintas, or wine estates of Portugal, provide the ruby port casks for this velvety textured Glenmoangie. Rubens is the Gaelic for ruby. So I don't know. They don't give me a little description. But it's matured in bourbon casks, then extra matured in ruby port casks. So I think they're trying to keep the recipe close to the chest, which is fine. But it seems that this is a long process to make.
How like from the time they cut the trees down, how long ago do you think that was?
Well, I mean, if it's a standard bourbon, they make the barrels. The bourbon is at least 2 years, if not more. 2 years in order to be bourbon. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years, depending on how long it is. And then it's going to go in, you're going to mature a port, and that could be any time. I mean, the port we had earlier was 21 years in the barrel.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it's hard to say, but then that barrel then goes to Scotland, and then they finish the whiskey in it. And it is wonderful. I mean, you don't even have to drink this whiskey. All you have to do is smell it and know that it's wonderful.
I see Leah is making some interesting faces.
What's your
Do you
thoughts,
have
Leah?
any? Do you
First
have any
impression.
thoughts
First impressions there. What do you
to
think?
make?
It's very strong.
It is.
It's more complex.
Yes.
I think it's much more complex.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't like it as much.
It's like very intricate.
You can
I don't know.
you can definitely tell that the port is there.
Yes.
The port
Yeah,
is
the port
definitely
is there.
present.
I think Leah hates it. Do you hate it?
No, I don't hate it.
It's just different. This is just something you probably never.
Yeah,
heard before.
this is so.
Yeah.
This is really, really complex.
Like we said in other shows, when I did that tasting with Jen, the women at the tasting really liked the sherry finish.
Yeah.
and the men seem to like the port finish, except for Jamie. And you know,
That
that's
was a sherry finish person.
yeah.
I understand why this is one of your more favorite ones.
Yeah.
Because you have more refined, you're more experienced.
Yes.
You're a true-hearted enthusiast, where I'm still very novice to this. And to me, this is not an introductory. I wouldn't just say, hey, you like Scotch, try this one.
Yes.
I would say that it was probably more the original or the sherry cask finish that
Yeah.
an entry-level person would like. This isn't something I would throw at somebody.
Yeah, and you know,
This is more evolved. You're more evolved. You've been around a little bit. You've been tasting the different scotches. You'll enjoy that and later.
Well, and there's
know.
other Glenmoangies that are really interesting. This is one thing I really like about Glenmorangie. There is another finish which is much more expensive that I really love to put an ice cube in it, and this is something that I never do.
and which one is that?
I'm not gonna say,
Okay.
but I put an ice cube in it, and the taste with cold is really interesting. Then as the ice melts over an hour, it's a completely different taste. And then as it warms up, there's a completely different taste. So it's just an hour's experience drinking a wonderful whiskey
Wow.
and feeling all these different tastes and all these different textures. And I really do like that. And there's not a lot of whiskeys that I've ever found that has that expression.
Yeah.
So take your time and let it go through the process.
Right.
For each glass.
Yeah.
And my
A
finding
little
is,
is enough.
yeah.
This is one of those things like a cognac where I think the perfume nearly beats the taste.
Yes, yes.
The smell of it, I can
Yeah.
sit and sniff it.
What
And
the
I-
smell of it?
It's just the aroma of it. It's just so wonderful, so balanced, so perfect. I don't even care to describe what it is. It's just wonderful. And I can sit and smell it and not even taste it for a long period of time.
Yeah, and I think it's so weird. Like, to me, to the nose, it tastes kind of sweet. I mean, it smells sweet, but then when you taste it, it's so complex where you're searching for the sweetness and you'll catch it, but you're just so caught up in everything else. And even the aftertaste is just like a tart almost, but it's smooth. This isn't something I would drink every day. This is something that maybe it would be like a special
Break out for a
occasion.
special occasion, I agree.
I think Jamie's saying it best.
I like it a lot.
I do.
But I need to figure out why I like it a lot, other than just everything is pleasing to me. I need to know why. I need to explain why
Yeah.
to other people when I go out and I bring it out to them. I say, "Here, try this," and they say, "Why? I don't know. I like it. Why do I like it?" That's where I need to build up to. And the
kinda get into
wasabi
this.
nuts
Yeah.
really are complex.
Yeah.
And intense, just like this. That's why we had that. So, Curtis, on your final thoughts for this, your impressions, what do you feel?
I feel that there's the angel share. We've talked about that before. That when it's in the barrel, there's certain evaporations, and the angels get their share.
Yeah.
I don't think they deserve it. I
Okay.
think it should all stay in the barrel, and it all should come to me.
So-
I really, really love the port finish, Glenmorangie.
Yeah.
And Leah, I mean, this is your first time with this sort of intense. What do you think?
I think I feel drunk, so that's good.
Hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I think that we're taking back a little bit of the angel share, and this is a wonderful whiskey. I just wish I knew a little bit more about what was happening when I taste it and when I smell it. I'm sure that'll come to me later as I build up my collection. And I think if you're a completist, Glenmorangie has many different types to try. And if you really want to collect them all, they're all wonderful.
Yeah, I've never had, like Buffalo Trace, I've never had anything from Glenmorangie that I did not think was just a superb whiskey.
Absolutely. What was your final thoughts on it?
I think usually when they're when it's cast finished, they dilute it a lot with water. I think they left just enough, the less amount of water to just make it really kind of cask strong. But it doesn't overtake me because it doesn't have a strong ending, and that's what I really enjoy about it. That it can be so complex, and then you expect it to finish so strong, but yet it's just kind of smooth at the end, which I can really appreciate.
Burn?
Oh, am I supposed to give opinions?
Well, this time we're going to ask you because
Part 3 of our 3-part series of our Glenmoangies.
you've been exposed to a lot of wonderful whiskeys over your life, and maybe you should say something about this one.
This is probably my favorite of the 3 that we've tried in the series thus far. The port finish really does come through quite prominently. I don't really know how to explain why I like it. I mean, it almost has some, I would describe it as mapley flavors almost. Maybe not quite maple, but I'm kind of getting that. I think it might have said, someone may have said apricot. I don't know if apricot's in there or not.
I get that.
You get a little bit of that apricot flavor?
Apricot.
Yeah. I think it's great. I absolutely love this stuff. I think it's one of the better things that Glenmorangie has made so far.
Back to you, Leah.
Would you recommend this to somebody?
Not if they're a beginner.
Okay.
Yeah. If they are like Curtis, an enthusiast,
Okay.
then yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. You do not want to give this you do not want this to be the first drink of anybody having whiskey.
It's pretty intense,
It's pretty intense.
but it's good.
It's not overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
intense, but not overwhelming.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming.
Okay, Leah, you took us to the finish line because you're an autocross racer. Britannian, my friend, why don't you take us out with our final salute here?
All for one.
And one for all!
Yeah!